What's up, Star Child? The band and I are here for your download. Are you hearing or seeing or experiencing things that feel strange, possibly unnatural? Not sure if it is real or if it's your imagination? Well, I'm getting a download that you are. So we are going to dive in and get you some clarity. If this is your first time backstage, welcome. The band and I are very grateful that you're here. Giz and I are going to do things a little differently today. We're going to do a pick-a-pile to get into your spidey senses. There'll be timestamps below identifying these three objects. Pile number 1, the first reading, is this harmonica. Pile number 2 is a Jericho Rose from New Orleans. And pile number 3 is this clear quartz. Pick the object you feel most attracted to, jump ahead, or follow along through all 3. Pile 1, you picked the harmonica. Do songs pop into your head at strange times? Lyrics reminds you of something, makes you think of someone or some place. Or maybe the lyrics are just oddly synchronistic for the moment that you're experiencing, or are a clue. We're going to talk about your clairaudience, the things that you can hear that cannot be seen in the 3D. You may hear whispers. You may hear otherworldly languages. You may hear music. It's all part of clairaudience. But sometimes it doesn't seem to be outside of you, making it confusing. We are going to clarify this information with the Grateful Dead deck today. First out, we have water, divinity, and shadow. Oh, how interesting, Star Child. What you're hearing is stirring emotions. It's stirring up emotions because it's uncomfortable. What you're hearing with your clairaudience. For some of you, what they're telling me is you're not sure if it's good or evil. Are they voices in your head? That can be scary because the world projects a lot of scary things about that, has made a lot of diagnoses around what you hear and whether it's your imagination or a mental health issue. But I don't think it is, Star Child. I think that they're clues. I think there are clues. So let's look at this water energy first, okay? Because for some of you, when your clairaudience comes in, you slip right into some kind of logic about whether it's real or whether it's fake, whether it's dark, whether it's light. We have the Knight of Skulls, the Mirror, and the Knight of Roses. Yeah. So this is the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. Your intuition will immediately flip into logic. But there are messages that are coming in that are a mirror, Star Child. Nature. The other D's are trying to mirror something to you. They're speaking to you in a different way. Tell me about this mirror. The doorway. The Ten of Wands. Why the Ten of Wands? The King of Skulls. This is very burdensome to someone's mind, whoever I'm speaking to right now. But this is a doorway. There's a doorway to synchronicities. There's a mirror happening within nature in the universe when you hear these things. It's a portal, Star Child, with the doorway. It's a portal into another world. But immediately, your King of Swords energy, your logic, your verbal communication, your self-talk immediately comes in and mirrors to you actually what the world is telling you about this. What would happen if you went through this doorway, Star Child? Because there's a rainbow on this card. What would happen if you went into this doorway? Oh, the Star card. You leaned into this doorway with your clairaudience. We have the sunflower in reverse and the star in the upright. The lies would be healed, Star Child, is what this is telling me. Something would be illuminated. Your beliefs about this would change because these audible downloads that you're getting are there to help you. It's an expansion of the mind, Star Child. Tell me why this makes you the star. Tell me why this clairaudience makes you the star. The Queen of Cups and the blues. Well, we know that the Queen of Cups is the most intuitive queen in the deck. Your intuition is extremely strong, Star Child. And what they're saying is not only is it time to go in for a higher perspective, but maybe somehow log these clairaudient moments that you have so that you can piece them together. You can compose them rather than immediately jumping into your logic and brushing it off. Start writing down, jotting down something in these little moments so that you can piece them together. Because what I see with this King of Swords energy and then the divinity in the shadow is that you immediately go into judgment about what you're hearing. Tell me about this divinity card. Tell me more about the divinity side of this, the Empress. The Empress is the creator, the mother of the earth. She speaks to trees, and they talk back, Star Child. The Five of Skulls in reverse. I like that. What they're telling me is this is just a dichotomy happening in the mind right now. There's a part of you that knows you're a divine creator. And you have moments when you hear these things that it will reverse this lack mindset, this uncomfortable mindset of this can't be real. The Five of Pentacles would be in reverse for the Empress, Star Child. Tell me more about what the Empress is hearing. Oh, you know what they're pointing out to me? The Empress is holding two dolls, Star Child. For some of you, you either are hearing at this time, or it may be a way to expand your clairaudience is by using spirit dolls. Spirit will talk to us through objects that will make us comfortable in receiving the messages, Star Child. With the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Bears, bears are pentacles in this deck. This is representing, no, I'm sorry, this is a Two of Cups. I apologize. This is a Two of Cups. The Infinity. This is the as above, so below, Star Child. And the red and the white, the dark and the light. And they're in harmony here with the sun and the moon. We have Eight of Skulls in reverse. Why the Eight of Pentacles in reverse? Are you tuning this out at this time? Tell me more about this Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Six of Bears in reverse. Justice in reverse. 10 of Bears in reverse. Oh, this is some past life energy, Star Child. You were persecuted in a past life, possibly even in this life too, for clairaudience. You were gaslighted out of it. You were told that you were imbalanced. Maybe received some kind of mental health diagnosis that you now do or do not agree with. I am obviously not a doctor, and you need to make that discernment for yourself. But with the Six of Bears in reverse, it is showing me that this is a rejection of a past life gift, a past life energy, and it's because it makes you feel unbalanced. Why does it make you feel unbalanced? The Tower in reverse, the Nine of Swords in the upright. Okay, whoever I'm speaking with, you feel ungrounded. You feel very ungrounded within your clairaudience. Why? Seven of Skulls in reverse. Six of Bolts in reverse. Nine of Cups in reverse. This is very much a pushing against the tide here. This is pushing against the tide, and I feel a lot of fear. So let's go to the Shadow card. Tell me about the Shadow card here. Page of Bolts. Seven of Bears in reverse. The Lovers in reverse. Someone's hearing songs that are reminding them of someone from the past right now. And it's easier to just turn it off. But what if these were signs? What if you pieced together the lyrics and there was a message that had nothing to do with this relationship, but you're hearing it because there's a recognition, but you're attaching it to an emotion, you're attaching it to a negative emotion. Someone is possibly attaching their clairaudience to what they perceive as negative emotions rather than receiving it neutrally and following the trail of the synchronizations. Some of you are hearing songs that are triggering, but that's not why you're hearing the song, Star Child. There's a much bigger message in it. Tell me what the message is. The eyes, the world, the Four of Bolts, a portal, the Three of Wands, the voice of your dreams. There's something much bigger going on here, Star Child. The world and the Four of Bolts are both portals. Some of you are receiving clairaudience within that lucid dream state. What is this portal about? But immediately, the musician, the magician, this is a gift. This is a gift of manifestation and a gift of communication that you have, Star Child. But immediately you want to hop into shadow energy because there's an emotion tied to it of a past event. But you're getting these clairaudient downloads that have nothing to do with that past event, Star Child. But there's a recall in the brain, and that's why that song is being pointed out to you. And there's a trail here. There's synchronicities. Tell me more about this, what you're hearing in your lucid dreaming. Queen of Wands. Star Child, the Magician and the Queen of Wands. Don't let the past tread on you. Don't let past memories trigger you. Because this is something completely different. This has nothing to do with that. For some of you, what's happening is you'll hear a song, you'll hear a lyric, and immediately there's a certain person that's tied to it, and that's where the mind goes. But that's not it. That's not what the messaging is for, Star Child. Yeah, with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, asking you to pay attention. Don't stand still and back away from it. Tell me more about this Queen of Wands energy. The Two of Bolts. Yeah. This is a shift in the mind. This is making a decision to shift in the mind, to look at these synchronicities differently because these past emotions, yeah, in the attic in reverse. Okay, the addict in reverse would be the hermit in reverse, not even wanting to go in for like a deeper perspective or any wisdom on this, star child. But what's happening is there's a past event, a past relationship, a past something that was uncomfortable emotionally that is being tied to your clairaudience. So then you brush it off so that you don't have to feel those feelings. But the downloads that you're getting have nothing to do with that, have nothing to do with that past event. And because of that, you're shrinking and not paying attention to what you are hearing. You're tying what you are hearing immediately to a past event in the 3D, star child. So this is something that will need to be practiced. Practice in the sense that maybe when you get these hits, when you hear things in nature maybe that are not there, when you hear song lyrics, just jot down a quick note. So then you can start to follow the synchronicities. You can see the signs and the symbols and the patterns, star child, and piece them together. Because there's a bias. Nature, spirit, the universe is not communicating with you to remind you about some shitty relationship from the past, okay? Whoever I'm speaking to, you have a very strong gift in clairaudience, and you're ignoring the signs. Let's put a couple of symbols on this, a couple more symbols to confirm, okay? That past event does not define your gift of communication. This is how we get into flow, how we open up to collective consciousness and universal energy, is when we start to embrace these other forms of communication, star child, and piece it together. What final words do we have on this? I feel like I was very repetitive as I was giving you that message, but it's really important for someone to hear, to not tie those things to emotions. Yet fire, death, wow. Somebody is getting some clear downloads that are so emotionally uncomfortable, and nature spirits that is reminding you of an ending, that's reminding you even possibly of somebody's death, okay? And we went from water to fire, kicking up rage, it's kicking up anger, it's triggering an emotion, but that's not the point of the communication, star child. Nature spirits came out here. It's important to listen to nature spirits, get out in nature, and also listen to if you get music downloads while you are in nature. The frequency is different when you are in nature, okay? Whoever this is, keep listening in, because this is very clear. Someone has a very clear gift here of clairaudience, and man, this is the universe, this is spirit, this is the collective trying to speak to you, star child. Hey, pile number 2. You picked the Rose of Jericho from New Orleans, representing your clairsentience. Emotions, feeling. You feel everything around you. You're someone who's all about the feels if you pick that Rose of Jericho. You can feel the earth breathing. You can feel the energy of others. For some of you, this is triggered in the body. Your spidey sense comes in different feelings within the physical body. Where do you feel different emotions in your body, star child? All right, we're going to clarify your clairsentience with the Tori Amos deck. Let's see what it has to say about your clairsentience. 8 of Swords. Ace of Wands, 8 of Swords, 6 of Wands. Star Child, when these downloads come in from the universe, which is represented by this Ace of Wands, you're getting in your head about these feelings rather than headed towards a victory with them, all tied up and engaged in these feelings that may not even be yours. Tell me more about this 8 of Swords, the King of Swords, the Lovers. Why the King of Swords? The Ten of Wands. These feelings feel burdensome, Star Child, but there's a choice to make, and the choice is to be introspective when these feelings come in. Identify where they are in the body, where you can feel it energetically. Is it being projected towards you, or is it coming from you, Star Child? This is very confusing for people. Clairsentience can be a hard gift of communication to have, because for many of us, it creates emotional and energetic entanglements. I don't even really want to talk about the empath, so to speak, even though, of course, that's going to come up when we're talking about this. But the problem with empaths is they not only feel everything, so to speak, like a clairsentient, they take it on. They mesh with it, they mold it into themselves, causing all kinds of toxic things for the mind, body, and soul of the clairsentient. And for the clairsentient, it is very important to stay grounded, not to get in this Ten of Wands. What is it going to take to get a victory here? What is it going to take to get a victory with this gift? This is a gift that, yeah, Ten of Swords in reverse, Ace of Cups. How do you find comfort and joy in this? Oh, okay, with the Emperor in reverse and the Five of Coins. Okay, yeah, so this is getting all caught up in the emotions when these waves come through. Okay, Ace of Cups is showing me that if you know you have clairsentience or you are working on it at this time, that it can really jive you up. You're trying to figure out how to not be in a Ten of Swords every time that you feel something. And it's about earth energy. It's about getting grounded in earth energy and being introspective and identifying where it comes from. Now, how you identify it may be different. You might identify it somewhere in the body. You might identify it as a color. It's important to use your intuition. This is the most intuitive of gifts. But emotions, if we're not balanced in our emotions, if we don't know how to handle our emotions, this gift will run our lives. It will railroad us, making us the Emperor in reverse. Tell me more about this Ace of Cups, the victory with this clairsentience. What more does Star Child need to know about this clairsentience? Seven of Coins in reverse. Queen of Swords. The heart, that's the emotion that always gets in the way. Okay. Heart is like an emotion that always gets in the way. Ace of Swords, Seven of Coins, having a hard time making any progress on this, feeling like it's not a gift of communication. But there's a different truth here with the Ace of Swords, okay? The sense that they're giving me is, for many of you, you grew up with emotionally manipulative people. You've been in relationships with emotionally manipulative people, probably codependent people too. Those are all attacks against a clairsentience about getting balance. But what is the truth here? Because this is really strong. There's three aces on this. This is coming out as the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, it's time to ground into this truth, to understand what these emotions really look like. Whether they're yours, whether they're someone else's, whether it's just energy that you're feeling. The Two of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Tell me about this communication when these feelings come in. Four of Swords. Oh, feeling like you have to rest, just being emotionally burdened. Four of Cups. What are you not seeing? Because, see, this is a form of communication, Star Child. This is an extrasensory form of communication. All these feelings that you have. How do you start to sort it out? You have to pause, first of all. We have to pause. We have to pause and get grounded. And then intuitively, we will know where it's coming from and what we need to do with it. Do we need to just completely release it and move it out of our space because it's being projected off of someone that does not need or want anything from us, or us from them, vice versa? Or are you being triggered to something that's important that you need to observe? For some of you, your flight and fight and fawn responses have been so on high alert for so many years, your cortisol, that you're immediately going to that. You're immediately going into that high overdrive of emotional energy. The way to get out of high drive of emotional energy is to ground. And as silly as it sounds, it works. We talk about reframing those neural pathways a lot on this channel. You stand with your feet firm on the ground and you look around you and you start to call out all of the things that are around you. What do you see? You see a tree. What day of the week is it? It's Tuesday. I see a tree over there. There's a blue car. Whatever those things might be, so that the flicker, the image in your mind becomes the exact present moment. That's how we can pull out of that emotion, balance the logic in the emotion, allow our intuition to kick in, because it takes swords and cups for intuition to work properly and for us to trust it and for it not to be a flight response. We do that, we can observe it. We can observe the emotions as energy and have a better idea of where they're coming from. And there's something that you're not seeing here with the Two of Wands. Tell me more about this. What are you not seeing here with this Four of Cups, Two of Coins? The Star. That Star Child, if you can get balanced in this, and for many of you, this is about being balanced in your empathy. Understanding that your clairsentience can make your level of empathy for other humans toxic to you, like poison. But if you can master this, it makes you the star. It's your superpower. You can read a room. You can read a planet. Okay? Tell me more about this star energy. Tell me more about this star energy. The Six of Swords. The Sun in reverse. The Nine of Swords. For many of you, this is a really hard gift to harness because there's something going on in your personal life. I really feel like this is home space that is always keeping you up in the Nine of Swords, that's keeping you in anxiety. You're always feeling this anxiety. And there's a truth that needs to be illuminated about this anxiety. It's not coming up as truth. It's coming up as something false and something that needs to be detached from. A Knight of Wands in reverse. I'm waiting to see the Three of Swords. The Hangman in reverse and the Strength in reverse. Somebody's weak in the knees over someone here. A Knight of Wands in reverse at that. That's keeping you up in your head. It's taking up so much emotional space and you're absorbing so much emotional projection from this person that it's confusing your intuition when it comes to other areas where your clairsentience kicks in. Let's get something good on this. This is a hard one. This is a hard gift to have. It's the superpower of superpowers if we can manifest it. A big part of manifesting this into a superpower is not allowing those toxic relationships to come into our lives, not allowing toxic energy to skew our vision. And look at that, out the gate, boundaries. Boundaries are so important for clairsentience because you feel everything. You're sensitive. You've probably been told that that's a deficit. Many of us have been told that's a deficit most of our life. No, damn it, it's not. It's a superpower. But it makes a vulnerability in the energy for us. So boundaries have to be very, very clear. And at all times, we must trust ourselves above all else. Because we can see behind the veil with this gift. People might be forward-facing in the world, presenting themselves a certain way, but clairsentience can see right through that. It's like people are glass. But if we don't trust ourselves, storm. Okay. For some of you that this, you relate to this, meditate, that's that grounding. There's fire. There's someone with really fiery energy, both of these cards coming up red in your life, okay, that creates some stormy emotional energy within you. They may also have stormy emotional energy. Either way, there's some grounding that needs to happen because what it's doing is it's causing static in the energy for you, right? Not trusting ourselves with the projection of these other emotions. Okay? Star Child, ground, meditate, anything that you can possibly do to serve and soothe the nervous system, which is critical for those of you with Clairaudience. And it's a superpower. Don't make it a deficit. Make it a form of communication that puts you in your Queen of Wands energy. Okay, pile number 3. Oh, you chose the Clear Quartz. We're going to talk about Claircognizance as the Clear Quartz is healing to Claircognizance. Claircognizance is all about acquiring knowledge that did not come from any outside circumstance. Claircognizance a lot of times is not looked at as a gift of communication. A lot of people that have claircognizance tend to do a lot of inward processing, okay? A lot of inward introspective processing. A lot of claircognizance people do not even really write things down. They do everything is mental. This is the gift of communication that's in the sword's energy. And I've met a lot of people that have amazing claircognizance, and it's all mental. They don't get it out of their head, which is fine. That's the way that they know how to process it. That processing works best for them. With any gift of communication, you need to experiment and find what processes work best for you. I've also met a lot of people with claircognizance that have quote-unquote learning disabilities. Dyslexia, okay? Yeah, they're not even really learning disabilities. You just have a different form of communication. But that is a sign, okay, of people usually that have really good and strong claircognizance. So what do we need to know here about this claircognizance? Tell me more. Protection. Why protection? Veiled. Protected from something that's veiled. Water. Oh, okay. Okay. Can I have one more, please? Many people who are, introspective. Many people that have the gift of claircognizance do not express through emotion. They're typically not verbal processors, okay? And so they don't express emotion in the way that we would typically express emotion through the verbal, because everything is internalized. The processing of emotions, the processing of the cups, the swords, the fire, all of it does not mean that that person does not feel emotions. If you believe that you're claircognizant, it's all internal dialogue. Claircognizant is all about internal dialogue, which is why we're seeing the meditate card. And I'm getting a sense off of these cards that there's something around the emotions. I don't think that that you protect yourself from your emotions. Your emotions are veiled from other people because of the way that you process them. Now, a lot of times, myself included, talk about it takes the emotional space to get into extrasensory gifts of communication. Someone with claircognizance who may not verbally and outward express their emotions, it does not mean that they don't have incredible intuition. Their emotions and their logic is just all internally processed. So it seems veiled. For some of you, this may have been a form of protection. I don't think so. The download I'm getting is you've been told that you mask and you protect your emotions. You're not capable of expressing emotion, but that is not true. You just express it in a different way. And that is with all extrasensory forms of communication, isn't it? That's why we're talking about this. Is because you express yourself in a different way. Someone who is clairsentient expresses themselves in a very different way than someone who is claircognizant. And it's all okay. It doesn't make one person not emotionally available or one person's, closer to spirit than the other and all. That's just a bunch of bullshit biases. So let's get into this. This is important, these downloads that they're giving you, because this is not talked about. This side of claircognizance is not talked about enough, I don't think. And so a lot of people don't even realize that this inner knowing, this inner dialogue that they have is actually an extra sensory form of communication. A lot of people that have claircognizance, though, have incredible gifts of telepathy, okay? So tell me more about this veiled. Is there anything else we need to know about this veiled card here? The Devil in reverse. The Two of Cups in reverse. Yeah, this is not obsession, okay? Many people that are claircognizant that communicate more telepathically than they do verbally can be labeled as obsessive, having obsessive thoughts because they think so damn much. But that's how they communicate. Why the Two of Cups in reverse? Because you've been told that this is unhealthy. But it's not. It's just how you communicate. Tell me more about this Two of Cups in reverse. Now, only you can be honest with yourself, right? If you're masking emotions, if you're using this as a protective measure, but that's not the vibe at all that I'm getting off of these cards right now. That is not the message. That is not the download that I'm getting. But tell me about this Two of Cups in reverse. This Two of Cups in reverse is because it's created created a divide within self, feeling like you are unable to connect with people emotionally. This is not true because you have such amazing gifts of telepathy, which also means that you know how to work energy. Seven of Pentacles. Finding progress with this in nature. They're telling me some of you are connecting with like plants and stuff. You're actually gardening, and you're starting to kind of you're understanding this telepathic communication that you're having with plants and animals deeper than you have before. The Starman. The Starman. Why the Five of Cups? The Magician. The Nine of Swords in reverse. Give me one more on this Nine of Swords in reverse. Wow, to someone this is very burdensome. Okay, with the Three of Cups. This is extremely burdensome because it makes you feel disconnected from others. Star Child, you just have to find the right people to be connected with. You have to find the people that are comfortable and enjoy the silence. We don't need to talk for hours and hours and hours to feel connected to another human. Actually, if verbal communication is the only way you know to connect with another human, that's a bit shallow in the sense of like you're really missing out. People are really missing out. This Three of Cups is possible. It's possible once this claircognizance takes you out of this Five of Cups and Ten of Wands energy. Why the Ten of Wands? I have the feeling though that some of you, and this would be common, yeah. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. This can, and Two of Pentacles in reverse. There can be an imbalance when you have strong claircognizance between action and thinking. Because it's a lot of swords energy. Like there's an overthinking to the point of then indecision and not taking action, especially when it comes towards speaking with other people, moving towards other people. But you're showing up as the Magician. And we have water here on the table. It's one of the tools that the Magician needs, Star Child. So how do we get you in more into your Magician energy with this claircognizance? People with claircognizance are some of the most incredible manifestors I've ever met. Once they've had it harnessed, right? They don't look at it as a deficit. And actually, we did see the Devil in reverse here. So you seem to be out of obsessive thoughts at the moment. But there's something behind the Moon here. What's behind the Moon for the Magician? The Ten of Cups. Really wanting to seek emotional connection and not knowing how. Tell me more about this Ten of Cups. How about being vulnerable and explaining how you process things? If you're capable of verbally communicating that, or asking your loved ones to communicate with you differently, it would be a fun exercise to see. I'm sure they can communicate with you telepathically. They've just never tried it. Tell me more about this. I was going to say, I feel someone very up in their head. That's very common with this gift. That's very common. Three of Wands, Two of Wands in reverse. Yeah, there's something that you want. There's someone you want to move towards in an emotional space, and just feeling so unsure how to do it. Okay? Give us a couple more symbols here. Give us a couple more symbols. Give us some guidance how to approach this communication. Safe. It's safe. It's safe for you to communicate this with someone. It's safe for you to communicate with someone that you don't express emotion in the typical, quote unquote, typical way that we believe people express emotions, and that your emotions still exist. What do we need to know about the full moon here? Get the card of the full moon. Safe and full moon. Safe travel in the full moon. Tell me about the full moon. Growth. Open up. Open up. Downloads of incredible information. People with claircognizance understand that they're creators. They have fierce mental processes. And very good, you're a very good manifester. Just don't feel like you're good at manifesting emotional connections, but you are. It's just about thinking about it a little differently. And here's the thing, this sounds crazy, but there is the opposites are good in this situation. Someone who is claircognizant can align very well with someone who is clairsentient, because the clairsentient can see those emotions as energy through that person. Now, that's only if the clairsentient is healed in their emotional space and is not creating all these projections that the person that is claircognizant is not capable of expressing their emotions. You see what I'm saying? So this is very possible, healer. You're a healer. You're a different kind of healer than what we consider healers. Tell me more about this. I don't know. They want to talk more about this healer card. Tell me about the claircognizance as the healer. For some of you, this is the first time you're hearing this. Is what they're showing me. Someone has spoke some very harsh words to you that has kept you up in your head, that has kept you isolated, to where you've taken on a belief that it's not capable to emotionally connect with people. Heal that. And then share it with others so they don't feel isolated too. All right, Star Child. Woo! That pile 3 got me a little teary-eyed. Okay, please join us over on Substack. We're going to dive a little deeper into this today. Also, if there's anything you would like from me, any services, my calendar link is down below. And I will see you for your next energy check-in, Star Child. Thanks for hanging out.